Good afternoon, everyone. It's Andy, and it's the middle of the day on lunch break, and just thought I'd come out and take a quick video. It's been a little bit, it's July, so here in Florida it's very hot. Not a lot of things to grow that I would normally grow most of the year, like the tomatoes, which I'm very excited about. Excited for the next season, but figured I'd just share a little bit about the things that I am able to grow given the circumstances, and a little bit about what I've been up to, maybe some plans. But here I'm focused on a series of tier beds. Just got peppers in them. I've got sugar rush peach, jalapeno, lazia peppers, and a few green onions over here. Doors right there, so I can quickly come out, grab them, go. So that's really cool. And then I've got my star fruit tree over here. It's just getting loaded, bearing down with lots and lots of fruit. It's hard to see, it all blends in, but there's quite a few clusters in there. Hydroponic system's doing pretty good. I'm really glad I did the coolers. I think this has been the best year for hydroponics, given the temperature of the water and everything. It makes the plants very susceptible to root rot and things like that, which I have had to battle a little bit of. But now with these coolers, it's been easier than previous years, which is very handy for me. Testing out a few things over the summer. I've got some green beans here, shishito peppers, which the peppers are no problem. Honestly, for summertime, it's peppers, okra, and green beans seem to be beautiful crops. Of course, you've got your leafy greens like spinaches and things you can grow too, but eggplants as well. I've got some eggplants here growing. I've got a little eggplant right there that's popping out, and a lot of basil. I've been making a lot of pesto, and the basil has been delicious for that. I'm trying out a Yamato cucumber. These guys get pretty big, and the fruiting bodies are like, I don't know, 1,500 or so, 1,500, 15 or so inches at full size, which is pretty cool. So this should be a really good one for eating, or maybe even pickling, depending on what they're like. Got some Malabar spinach in here. Trying out some longevity spinach I received from a friend. Gonna see if that does very well. I'm also doing Cuban oregano, and this thing already grows like a weed, so I wanted to see what it would do in hydroponic. And just to give you an idea, that is a leaf. That's a big piece of oregano, and this stuff is wonderful. I dehydrate it, make a powder out of it, using pizza sauce or anything that requires oregano, and it's very good. Over here I've got a kiwi plant, which I'm experimenting with, planting it under the moringa tree. I'm doing my best to keep it alive. I've heard a lot of Florida, folks I've known try kiwi and did not work so well. So if this is successful, I'm going to be saving all the tips I did and sharing ways to maybe help other people grow that in the future, because that is a delicious fruit, very good for your stomach. So this is my raised bed that I built. I used silt fence material to encapsulate around and used a PVC frame. Was able to build this gigantic bed for under $100 this way. It's a very, very cheap way that may not be easy on the eyes, but it works, serving its purpose, and it's just full of life. This is why I had this bed, so that maybe I could grow some other stuff if the root rot was too bad in the hydro garden. So here I got lots of okra on the way. The okra is delicious. I like to pick it, anywhere from maybe 2 inches to like 4 inches at most, before it gets woody. And the green beans are just going nuts. These are Thai soldier long beans, and I actually came out this morning and harvested a bunch. But I pretty much have green beans to harvest every day, and I have a whole bag inside in the freezer, and we just my dream was to try and get enough green beans stored away. I wouldn't need to really buy too many green beans throughout the year, and I think I'm going to hit that goal. I'm just going to kind of grow these guys until they die out on their own, or whatever the case is, but I'm just going to keep on going with that. I've got a few sweet potatoes in here too, but I'm not sure if the green beans drowning them out or not. This thing has definitely taken hold. These are what they look like. They're really pretty actually, but one thing I've learned is I was letting them get too big at first, and they would take forever to cook. I mean, probably 4-6 hours, and then even then they weren't as soft as I really enjoy it, like the Italian flat beans. Those get really nice and soft really quickly. So I'm not sure if I'll grow this variety again next year, but it was a really fun one to try and very enjoyable. Other big news, the shed. The shed is gone. Very excited about that. I know for a long time I said it was an eyesore, and it's just so nice to have it clean and cleared. That is a chicken coop over there. I'm going to be doing some chickens and probably intertwining some of my gardening videos with chicken videos, going on with different tips and tricks I've learned, and also maybe use it as an opportunity to learn from any of you guys who are also experts and have had chickens for a while. I'm always willing to learn. I think there's always something to learn from everyone, regardless. And here I'm just doing a little bit, stuck in 2 tiny papaya seedlings that my friend gave me, and also some green tea. They're like tea plants. I really like green tea, so I'm gonna try and grow some myself. I saw a video where a guy was clipping them and keeping them really low to the ground, and in turn it was really space saving, and he also had this just lush, thick amount of green fresh leaves he could always harvest for drying, rolling and then drying, and then using for green tea processing, or even for black tea if you want to ferment it for a little bit and then get your black tea. But either way, so I'm going to be testing that. I did start some squash a couple days ago. I just want to see how this would do in the system. So I'm doing, this one's called Incredible Escalator. It is a vining zucchini, which I think is great for a system like this. Saves space at the base. Instead, we'll grow up, and then, all the space is used up the trellis instead of like at the base and crowding into anything else. A couple of the seeds didn't sprout, so I did a different type of zucchini here, one that I think they call like an avocado squash, but they're really good. I did a honey nut squash down here. The variety is just called honey nut. It's supposed to be sweeter than the older style. You're not supposed to even need sugar. We're gonna find out. But and then just filling up with as many zucchinis as I can over here. In another month or so, I'm going to be starting the tomato season. So trying to decide, space saving and how I want to arrange everything around. I think I've decided, after just kind of thinking about everything, planting indeterminates side by side was clogging up the pipes, more than I really was comfortable with. It's doable, but I think that I could make much better use of the space if I do a leapfrog type of system where I have an indeterminate and then a determinate and an indeterminate and so on and so forth. So I'm going to kind of do that this year. I'm going to do a few varieties of indeterminates, and I'm going to do a few varieties of determinants. I think I'm going to do, for sure a couple of 10 fingers of Naples. I also really enjoyed the, oh my goodness, the name, the Vesuvio tomatoes, the Pianolo Vesuvio tomatoes. Those were fantastic. I actually still have them. They're known as long keepers as well, and they're actually still sitting inside the house in a little Pianolo bundle, which is really cool. And they're right, the longer they keep, the sweeter the flavor gets. So it's been really fun to make bruschetta and all sorts of things with that, and kind of gathering the different flavor profiles as the year progresses. So definitely I'll probably have to limit it a little bit, but I'm gonna probably grow some in this one too, but I don't want to get rid of any of these plants, so I'm probably gonna have to space save, switch some stuff over. I might have to take some of these even out and plant them in the raised bed. Eventually I'm going to have this cleared alongside the fence here. I'll kind of show you the perspective. This was where my bananas were. I actually relocated them all to the front yard. So what I want to do is flatten all this out, and then I want to have raised beds in series all the way down to where the gate, so that when the gate opens up, it's not impeding or getting in the way. This is going to be a lot of good space use here if I do the raised bed situation. A lot of dirt, but it's going to be really awesome, and a lot of availability to grow more stuff. also be some good control situations where I can maybe plant a few tomatoes in the dirt and a few tomatoes in the hydro, and show you guys real time just how beneficial it is in a hydro situation. You know, how much faster it can be when the tomatoes have everything they need. I will say, without a doubt, I've noticed that the tomatoes don't need as much root space as I've seen in other situations. And I think because in a hydro situation, you're already supplying the roots everything they need. So they're not going around, they're not searching, they're not, you know, looking for more nutrients throughout the dirt. They've got it all. So they don't really have much of a necessity to put out as many roots. They still will get pretty bulky, but other than that, you know, a few cool things going on over here. I just had a bunch of dragon fruit blooms go. It doesn't look like the pollination took too well though this time around, but that's okay. They typically will blossom out a few times a year. So with that being said, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. The container gardening that I was doing with the hydro, I may still have a few here and there as the next year progresses, but I'm probably going to slowly phase out of that and you know, go into more of just the pipe hydro gardening. There's so many benefits I found to it. For one, when it rains, not so much rain is collecting in here and overflowing the systems and causing you know, dilution of nutrients. This has been a huge benefit of this DIY system. You know, you can drill overflow holes, which I did and everything, but at the end of the day, all those nutrients start pouring out and diluting, and it creates a more watery solution that your plants are not able to, you know, any longer receive the nutrients they need. So with that said and done, just going to keep experimenting this year, a few different varieties. I do have a few more ideas for some other systems I'd like to build. I have another vertical idea. I have to see how it goes, but it would involve corrugated pipe and also pool noodles. So that could be very interesting down the road. I just have to figure out where I want to put it, how I want to approach it, and yeah, so it's going to take some thinking still. But I figured I'd throw that out there to see what you guys thought. But either way, I really appreciate everybody's time. I appreciate all of you people. You know, hopefully you're enjoying the summer and gardening to your best ability. And if ever there's any questions, you can always ask. And again, you know, thanks for watching. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next video. Take care.